So there are some concerns about pardons recently. I've seen questions in our pre-show about two different areas, and I'm just curious, just off the cuff, your thoughts about one, that secret pardons might have been given. There are people who think, well, it's just too suspicious that Trump didn't pardon himself or his family. So could he, in theory, have done a pardon, but it doesn't have to be public?
Yes, that is correct. The thing is, okay, so once again, when I say that is correct, I'm referring to something that has no precedent, as in no case law, no courts have interpreted it in terms of the full extent of the presidential pardon. So there is a lot of room there for it to be analyzed or the conclusion to be different. But under what we do have in terms of conversations or history in terms of the pardon, we do see that there's the possibility that secret pardons could have been given, and that all they have to do is bring it up when it comes to being prosecuted and say, hey, I have this piece of paper and it actually says, and it's signed by the president, that I shouldn't be charged for these crimes. And then, of course, the courts then could decide whether that's legit or not. But as of right now, yeah, that easily could have happened.
So you're saying we won't know for sure until they try to get them on some of these things?
Correct.
Interesting. Okay, well, any lawyers watching this, feel free to try to sue the president. I'm down for that. The other question is, and this was apparently raised by the YouTube channel Legal Eagle, that some of the pardons, including Steve Bannon, might not stick. That there might be something about those pardons that still allow Steve Bannon to be pursued on some of these charges. Have you heard anything about this? That some of the pardons might not have either been written in a certain way, or that there might be some loopholes that allow those people to still be charged?
Okay, so once again, there is no precedent for it, but I have read analysis out there that would suggest that pardons can be, whether they're revoked or they can in some way be undermined by virtue of how they were given. For example, if they were given as part of a bribe, a quid pro quo, that it would impact the enforceability of the pardon. But then again, we'd have to have a court say that, because as of right now, what we do have on the books is a court saying that the pardon power is vast and the constitutional limitations are the only terms in which they are limited. And so what we would need is a situation in which the matter comes before the courts and the courts make that assessment.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out. That's what I had sort of feared. But hey, look, I've said many times, I don't think many of these people are gonna suffer really any consequences, but good to know that it's at least possible. And it's good to have someone with this sort of expertise. Thank you as always, Adrienne.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.